Hello guys, welcome to the training video session. So before moving on to the nitty-gritty of the tools, let's understand the SIEM. Okay, SIEM stands for Security Information and Event Management. Okay, so similarly, previously how we have a separate domain for network security where we have a firewall team managing the firewall, managing the VPN. We have a separate endpoint team managing the endpoint devices, antivirus and all. Similarly, now we have a separate SIEM team which is monitoring the whole infrastructure. Okay, they are the single point of contact, or you can say the incident responder. Okay, you can tag them with multiple name: incident responder, single point of contact for storing the logs. So we are going to see this in detail. So SIEM is a separate domain. Under it there are multiple tools. For example, there is Splunk in the market, there is Oxide, QRadar, Logarithm, SecureNix is also coming, Azure Sentinel is there. Okay, there are multiple tools. The domain is SIEM. There are multiple tools inside it, okay, or below it, you can say. So then the most important question is why SIEM is required, and or you can say what is the advantage of it. So just imagine a situation: SIEM was not there. There are, you can say, 5 or 7 tools in the in a particular company X. There is a firewall, there is an endpoint, router, switch, and number of tools are there. So firewall is writing logs in its own format, endpoint is writing logs in its own format, the router switch writing in its own format. For a layman person, or for a person who has expertise in a particular work, it is not you can say easy for him to understand the logs from all these devices. Suppose there is a breach happened on a particular web server. That person has to go there and understand each and every logs, and logs are also huge time consuming. They are not centralized. That's where the requirement of SIEM came in. Okay, so first thing is what is happening, all the data is in unreadable form. These devices, you just imagine them as unreadable. All these devices are generating the data, and all of this data is in unreadable form. SIEM is converting this data into a human readable form. How it is converting? There is a parser. The global term is the parser, whether it's Oxide, Splunk, QRadar, SecureNix, Azure Sentinel. Parser is the key term which is converting the data into a human readable form, and it is nothing, it's just a combination of some configuration file. So previously how the logs of a Cisco firewall look like, you can see on my screen. There is some IP, there is some port, some name, again IP, port name. You are not able to determine which is the attacker IP, which is the source IP. Okay, so SIEM to your help. So it is what SIEM is doing. SIEM is parsing the information, and that's what we are receiving. The IP, this belongs to attacker address, this is the attacker port, session allowed, this is the name, basically the target address. So that's how things are getting defined. This is what is being done by the parser. Okay, second thing, we need a centralized storage of the logs. Whenever a breach happened, we don't want to go to each and every team to get the logs. We want a single centralized storage. This is what SIEM is doing. Second thing is we need to set a retention policy. So in most of the organization, they set the retention policy. The higher management in the security policy, they said that this particular data, firewall data, needs to be stored for you can say 1 year, and then archive it. The email logs needs to be stored for 2 years, then auto delete. So this retention policy also we can set easily through the SIEM tools. Okay, third thing is, this is the most important thing, we are doing real-time monitoring of all the events and alerts. Basically all the events are getting received into the SIEM. All these devices are sending logs to SIEM. This is a single point, and we are creating alerts here. For example, Windows failed login, a high number of denied connection received from a particular IP address. Basically here we are receiving logs in real time, and we are doing the real-time monitoring of all the alerts and events. Okay, this is the most important thing. Fourth important point, since all the logs are available centrally, we can do deep dive analysis, we can do multiple things. Okay, the deep investigation, everything can be done very easily from the SIEM. Fifth point, we have the dashboarding capabilities. Our senior management generally don't see the reports, and they are not worried about the data, whatever it is. They want dashboards. They want data in a simple form. Basically, in simple words, I say senior management, whether be it client, all these SIEM tools supports great dashboards. Okay, so moving on, alert creation. See, everything is happening at a single place. Obviously it is going to improve your incident response. The alert creation, everything is happening at a single place. That is the important thing. Reporting capability, these tools are also supporting reporting capabilities, guys. Okay, reporting capability feature is there. We can generate our own reports. Moving on to the next, so it is satisfying this. There is a standard of ISO 27001, so it is related to the ISMS information security system. So basically SIM is satisfying a particular clause of centralized storage of log. There is a particular clause in it. That's why a number of companies are buying it blindly. Moving on to the next, before moving on to the next, guys, I have designed the whole course according to your need. Okay, I have designed the course that is going to help you out. This Splunk, I'm talking about this Splunk administration course. I'm going to upload it on multiple portals. There you are going to get more information about this Splunk in a very easy layman language, and there are a number of practicals also. I'll be attaching the link in the below video, and I'll be attaching the link into the description, so you can go out and see it from there. Okay, moving on. So we have the ticketing tools in the organization. There is a ticketing tool basically to manage the SLAs and everything, so that nothing gets missed. So all these SIM tools can integrate with these ticketing tools very easily, and they can generate the ticket for you. So this is one of the important slide. On the next slide, I'm going to give you more in-depth information so that you guys understand what this SIM is in detail, in depth. Threat intelligence, so we can tie threat intel with the SIM and create use case or alerts on top of it. This feature is also there into the SIM. Okay. Next, SOAR. So I hope you have heard about the security orchestration, automation and response. So we can automate our stuff. For example, there is a Windows failed login alert, a Windows failed login happening on a particular Windows machine. Logs are getting flown into the SIM. SIM is integrated with the SOAR tool. So we have Phantom, Splunk Phantom, we have Cortex SOAR, or previously known as Tomesto. Multiple tools are there. So once an alert gets generated here, it gets transferred to the SOAR tool. SOAR tool has the capability of automatically blocking the user. There are playbooks written there for automation. Similarly, for example, a particular IP address is it's doing a high number of denied connection, generating a high number of denied connection to an inside IP address. Again, alert goes to the SOAR can block the IP address directly. That's what SOAR is in simple language. Guys, throughout the course I'll be talking in simple language, so don't worry. UEBA, so I hope you have heard about the user and entity behavior analytics. So currently organizations are working on a signature based approach, where there is a signature for a particular thing, where we have an alert created for a particular thing. This UEBA is a new feature that is coming into this SIEM, and through this, based on the behavior we can detect something malicious or advanced threat. That is the main thing here. AI and ML, so all these SIM tools are supporting the artificial intelligence and machine learning, so that we can deep dive, we can understand the behavior of the attacker, and we can detect it very easily. Okay, we can also correlate the data from multiple devices and then create a use case on top of it. For example, there is a firewall, there is an IPS. The firewall is allowing the traffic, but IPS is denying it, so we can create a use case like it as well. Or you can say firewall is allowing the traffic, but IDS is detecting something. We can create a correlation based on the 2 device, 3 device. So that's how we can create a deep dive or the advanced use cases like this. Okay. Moving on, SIM tools are now coming with the capability of being on-prem. So previously it's on-prem only. You have to deploy instance on your premises and then install these tools. But now we have the feature of going into the cloud as well. Okay, and there is no limit in the cloud, as you already know. You pay the money, you get everything. One more, most important thing, these SIM tools are extensively used in threat hunting. Everything is available at a single place. And one more thing, it is one of the important thing as an artifact. The logs are important artifacts during the digital forensics or forensic investigation. So yeah, that's all. Now moving to the one of the most important slide, guys, of this session, you can say. Again, I have explained you these things in a very layman language. I hope you get it. If you are looking for a Splunk administration course or SecureNix administration course, I'll suggest you check out the links in the video description. I'll be explaining you all these things in a very layman language, and you will understand everything. You'll be able to crack everything, and you are also able to do the labs. So yeah, bonus slide, why SIEM is required and its advantages, or most important advantages of SIEM that no one will tell you. This will not get it. So problem statement: why I need a SIEM when I have multiple security devices implemented in a layered fashion. IPS is there, IDS is there, firewall is there, endpoint is there. We have a robust vulnerability assessment team that is checking the vulnerabilities of all the devices. There is a GRC team that is applying all the standards and best practices in the organization. Okay, so I'll say simply, SIEM is mainly used to cover the residual risk that is left after following all the 3 points. Okay, that is the most important thing that you have to understand. Okay, for example, there is a let's take a company X, and they have implemented multiple security device, perform regular VN, GRC team, also check for compliance, regulatory. Even after this, due to XYZ reason, an internal machine placed inside my company X is trying to establish connection with an external server IP. These type of scenarios needs to be covered through the use cases on the SIEM. This is the main thing, guys. This is the main crux that you have to understand. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Let me just, yeah, here it is. Gartner quadrant. So just to give you a brief overview, brief idea what all tools are there in the market. So you can see this first tab, first quadrant here. This is the leader quadrant. So you can see the first ranker, then this is the second ranker, third, and you can say that's how you can define. So here is the Exabeam, it is at the top, then we have the SecureNex, then we have the IBM, and then here it is the Splunk. This is one of the fastest growing tools in the market. Okay, so that's how this Gartner quadrant is. This is for June 2021. So that's it, guys. I hope you understand the SIEM, what it is basically, how it is used. I request you to check out my other videos, other video sessions that are there. They all are in very simple language. I have tried to understand, I have tried to make you understand these things very easily. I've been a corporate trainer for, you can say, 3 years now, and also attached with multiple reputed training institutes. I know how to reach a particular chord, or you can say how to make a student understand what a particular thing is, or what a particular problem statement is, so that they understand better. Okay, and I focus all to do practicals. Okay, whatever you learn, do practicals as much as possible. So thank you, guys. We'll be seeing you in the next video sessions. Bye bye, have a nice day.